Today is April 13th, and I thought I'd get a few points recorded on how this planking is going so far. Yeah, it's working all right. As you can see, I'm almost done with the fourth strake on this side. Yesterday I picked up my 2x8s. There they are back there. There's 12 footers and 16 footers. And I started, my stack of 2x6s are in the other building. They aren't in here, but so I got to go over and grab those as I'm putting them on. So what I did here now, and what I'm going to continue doing, is putting the 2x8 on, and it's tapered from, yeah, it's not 7.5, it's like 7.25. 7.25 inches, and over the length it tapers down to meet the full width 2x6, which again isn't 5.5, it's more like 5.25 or something like that. And that gave me a little bit of a problem here in a couple places. You can see, like here, where I thought I was going to be meeting a 3.5 inches, and these aren't 3.5 inches either. They're like a 1/16 of an inch short. So it left me a little gap. I'm doing a little better now that I realize what's going on here, that these aren't exactly what I expect them to be. So, but it left a little gap in a couple places, and I really don't think that's going to hurt anything, because like I said, this thing gets sheathed in plywood, so it's not really going to make much difference. And I'll get this last 2x4, which is tapered on this side. But all of these are tapered. So essentially we're doing a long taper all the way from the front of the boat to the stern of the boat. And it probably won't work out perfectly, but it's working pretty good. And you can see how it turns up, to go to the stern so much back there. And that's going to flatten out as we go up. And hopefully by the time we get to the shear, which is not the rate all the way up, but the shear's 18 inches from the top there. Hopefully by the time we get to that, we'll be about evened out. And that's the idea. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to I was having a hard time getting these, even the 2x6s, twisted on here from being vertical here to being, flared out over here. I was worried about being able to get that little bit of twist in there with the 2x8s. But actually it wasn't working, or at least this one didn't work any harder really than the 2x6s that I was putting in there. And you can see I'm still, see those dowels in there. And then over here, the bottom one needs a dowel yet, but the top one's doweled. Those are where I ran my lag bolt in to draw the wood in. And then once I get past these first couple of frames, we're in pretty good shape. Now, yes, there is a frame missing here. Station 2 does not have a frame, and I'm going to frame that up internally in place once I get the planking on. So yeah, that's why there isn't one there. Over here, I got the 3 on. I got one more to get on this side to get caught up, but then I need to finish planing that bevel in all of my frames. And this side, actually, I did a little farther up when I was doing the initial bevel on here, so there's not going to be as much to do on this side as there was on the other side, so it should go fairly quickly, but that's going to have to happen tomorrow. I'll get those bevels cut in the rest of the way going up there. And then here's the 2x4 that I'll be putting in shortly over on the starboard side. But yeah, not too bad. I think this actually might go quicker than what I was initially anticipating, especially using these 2x8s. It's going to speed the process up a little bit. Plus, give me a smoother taper. Now I do have to stagger my joints. I think they say you're supposed to stagger what is it, 2 2 boards, 2 bays, 2 frames, and then 3 boards high. I don't know if I'll be able to do that everywhere, but that's what we're going to try to do. In other words, don't have joints fall. You don't want them falling on the same one. You want them at least 2 frames apart. And then when you're putting them on top, you know, keep them staggered by 3s if you can. That may not always be possible, because where you got a lot of bend here, you really need a longer board in here. And I don't know how short a board one could put in. What do we got here in this one here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that's a 12-footer there, and I guess that works. So yeah, that's not too bad. But what I've got is 12, 16, and 20s. So I'll try to stagger those 12, 16, and 20 going down. The 2x4s, I don't have much. I got 20-foot 2x4s. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of room to work with the 2x4s back here. So far it's worked out, but I'm wasting a little bit on the 2x4s. I didn't necessarily need 20-foot 2x4s everywhere here, but it is what it is. So, and I'll probably need some more 2x4s before I'm done here. And a couple things, I have managed to break off a few. Yeah, tried this big heavy stainless screw here. Tried this one to pull the boards in. I was thinking it was 3/16, but it's nowhere near. That didn't work. I have broken off a few of these, and yeah, I know that's because I'm using a impact driver, but oh well. What's interesting is I broke off the 5/16 bolt when I was trying to pull the bolts in, or pull the boards in with bolts, lag bolts. Broke off a 5/16, and then I broke off a 3/8 too. So yeah, there's only so much torque you can put on those things. I don't know if they make higher performance. Here's a 5/16 lag, and then here's a 3/8 that broke. And I have broken off, you know, a couple in the boat. So fortunately they've broken off deep enough that what I've done is I've just plugged them, drilled about as far as I can with a 3/8 inch drill. I'm trying to find one here. Now here was one of some sort. I don't know, that was a smaller one that I broke off. It looks like a 1/4 inch dowel in there. Yeah, here's one here. Yeah, actually those are 1/2 inches what those are, because the countersink on these number 14 screws is a 1/2 inch. So yeah, those are 1/2 inch plugs, I guess. There's one there where I broke one off, and that is from trying to pull it in. Yeah, here's another one, it looks like, and that's from trying to pull the thing together with screws, which, you know, you don't want to really do. Unfortunately, there's really nothing good to clamp to pull the board up against the frames when you're trying to bend them into place. Yeah, see, here's another one here too. That one broke off pretty close in there, so I didn't even put another bolt and all that, and there's a big knot here. But there's really nothing to clamp to yet. Now, once I get up just the next board up now, I'm going to be able to get a clamp behind the frames, you know, and I'll be able to pull the boards in with that. So that will help. Of course, I'm going to get to a point here before too long too that I'm going to have to switch to bar clamps when I'm clamping, you know, these down together before I drill them. I'm going to have to start using my longer bar clamps or the pipe clamps. Pipe clamps will get me plenty of length. I don't know. Like I said, I am going to put probably a 2x4 up there along the shear. And I could use my clamps in a pushing configuration, then to my Irwin clamps, whatever they call these. They're bar clamp, but I don't know what they call them specifically. But these you can reverse them and use them in a pushing mode too. So once I get a couple more boards up, and then I get one up here, I could push the boards down, which would work all right too. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's going all right. And like I said, I think it's probably going to go a little faster than I actually anticipated. Yeah, pretty happy with the way it's going. So just quick little update.